Alright, we're back. I go dig through my tools. I don't want to block the camera anymore. Okay, we don't know what's going on here, so pulling things apart. The washer behind a nut dictates where everything sits, and when that moves, everything moves. And something definitely moved. Just don't know what it was. Solid. Appears to be solid. Maybe I felt the O-ring push in, I don't know. Didn't feel like that. Okay, well, we put a straight edge on here, we'll know if it moved, because we know what the straight edge was. I just felt something move, I just don't know what it was. So we're going to double check with our straight edge again. We had a hard dimension. The hard dimensions don't move. Looks like we gained a little bit. Stay on. So now it's way over here. It's over 1/8 of an inch different. That's way more than we had. Something moved. Oh yeah, it definitely moved. Remember how this used to be jammed in here? You couldn't put it in here? Now, we're here. So this thing moved out. that gap plus some clearance. So that's about 40-50 thou movement. So something moved. Something is not correct. So this is the main shaft that's connected to the transmission. The trap door over there and the bearings control where the shaft sits. So when I pushed the clutch in, it put a lot of tension on the shaft and it shoved over. So I wonder what changed. So if they didn't put the trap door over there correctly in, there's snap rings to hold the bearings in the trap door. Maybe they did something over there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. But something has changed. So it's either either this washer moved in the basket, or the transmission main shaft moved out on this. So I got to determine which one that is. So I got to pull this back apart, look at that washer and see if it can move at all. I don't think it can, but something's different. We have more issues with this bike than what we think we have. I know that's stuff that rarely happens around here, that we have things that materially pop up all of a sudden. In this case, it popped up. Again, this happens all the time, as you probably can tell. Things don't work. But they come apart easy. Okay. So we're looking for things that can move. We have snap rings that hold everything together in here. Got a snap ring on the bearing there. I get the bearing snap ring over here that holds the bearing in the basket. The hub is held on another snap ring. Everything appears to be up against the snap ring where it belongs. I see no movement. So this washer is in there tight. It does not move. So let's go put a little pressure on this and see what happens. I don't think it's going to move, but we'll find out in a minute. So we're just going to put something right there in the center and push on it. Looks like about the right diameter push with. Let's put a little bit of pressure on there and see what happens. Okay, that's a little over a ton. It didn't move. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the clutch is not our issue. That's bad because that means the transmission is our issue. And there. Which means I got to pull the tranny out, apart. See what I see. Unexpected work. So that means I get to pull this side of the bike apart. Wonderful. The other thing I don't like is the clutch springs are coil bound, because I could barely move the clutch when it was installed, which is not good either. So why is that? We have all of these issues. So, looks like that O-ring is already torn. That would be the one that goes in here is now torn. Yep. O-rings did not want to go in there, so they rewarded you by not going in. Yep. So the first O-ring went in, we tore the piece off, and that's what's laying right next to the second one now. So O-ring does not fit in the shaft. So that piece there is the piece that's missing off the first O-ring. See, it's no longer an O-ring, it's got a big gap in there. The second one won't go in there either, even though it's trying to. It stops hard on that one. There it goes. So that O-ring will go in if you push it in. So I got to take off the first O-ring and put in there where the second one goes. Let's see if I can find another O-ring actually, but it does go in there if you do it just right. So that needs to go in there before we put all the springs in there. Adjuster has to line this pressure plate up. Obviously it's offset just one side when it went in, I guess. So, alright, so there's more issues there. Now, is there any way that would have been the movement I felt? No, because the whole damn thing came out. So the other test is to see if the transmission main shaft will move if we push it that way. So, my calipers, which I already put away because I was done measuring stuff. This is probably why the clutch, the spacers on the behind the front pulley are so weird. So there's supposed to be a lot more of them in there. Now there's going to take more because everything moved over. So if we take this, do a measurement like this, .927. .933. Check the other side here if we can. .92. So we're around 930 is our number. 2.930. Can't zero this, remember. .932. Okay, now we're gonna tap this thing with a little love hammer over here. Call it my favorite little tool around here. Big ass love hammer. It's about a 25, 30 pounder. Did you see that move? Okay, that ain't supposed to move. So did you see it move about 1/8 of an inch? That's what I saw. I don't know if the cameras quite catch that, but it moved. Okay, so that means transmission's coming apart. That shaft is not supposed to ever move for any reason. Obviously, it just did. So that means when they were in their transmission working on it, they didn't do something correctly. Great. So the trap door bearings, light doesn't work now. Figures, oh, too far, take the parts. back up. Ooh, that's too heavy. Not this one. There we go. This is a trap door. This has big bearings in it. It has snap rings right here that hold the big bearings so they don't move when you hit it with a hammer. They also have a big nut that's supposed to be tight that keeps that bearing against this washer right here when it's all torqued in. So either this nut is loose or this whole bearing is moving inside the trap door. That's the problem. So nut is loose or snap ring is not in here. I'm going to guess snap ring. We'll find out. That'll be a job to do tomorrow. Not today. Actually, I don't know if I get done tomorrow because I got other stuff doing tomorrow. Be an all-nighter. Yeah. I mean, I'll be in my holiday. Veterans Day. We'll be in here working on this thing probably. Alright, so that's what's going to be the problem. I got to figure that out. Now, there's also supposed to be a washer. Okay, this does not have the sleeve on there because it has a ball bearing on it. So that means the main shaft can go straight in and out. So that's a plus. And we still got to figure out what's going on with this tensioner at some point too. At some point this whole priming might be coming off of here. To find out what else is wrong, but it's getting close to where we just start taking the whole damn bike apart to make sure everything's correct. So there's only 8 bolts. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, and 2 more for the starter. And a 9 for jack bolt. 11 bolts. And that's off. We can see what's going on behind it. Do we really want to know what's back there? Not really. But if I don't go in there, it'll come back and haunt me. So that means I have to take it apart on this side too. This job just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Alright, well, it's almost tomorrow, so we better hurry up and quit. Otherwise we'll be working on it until tomorrow. I know Scooby wants to go home. He's over there resting up for dinner. Scooby, are you sleeping? Yeah, that's right. You ready to go home? Huh? Ready to go? Go get Mama? Yeah, that's right. Scooby's ready to go. Alright, Scooby says I gotta go home. Alright, that's it for this project.